Hi everyone, welcome into Cypress tutorial. Today in this tutorial, we are going to learn one of the most important concept in automation testing, data-driven testing using Cypress. Data-driven testing allow you to run the same test multiple times with different sets of data like different URL, username and password without writing the same test again and again. So let's begin. First, open this file cypress.config.js. Here we will enter the base URL, username and password. Base URL, and then inside this double quote we will enter the base URL and then env bracket. Inside this bracket we will enter the username and password. First enter username, password. Now here we will define base URL, username and password. Open Chrome browser. We will use this login page example. So our base URL practice-testautomation.com. Open VS Code, enter base URL and then enter the username and password. Copy username, enter password and then enter password here. We have defined base URL, username and password. Now create a test file here. Right click on E2E, new file, and then enter the file name here, login.sci.js. First, we need to add the reference type here. Reference types is equal to Cypress now describe here, describe data driven testing with login. Enter comma here. Same as well, we need to enter comma here. Now here enter callback function. After callback function, here we will enter the test case. Inside we will write the test case. User should be login with valid credentials. Round brackets, callback function. Inside we will write our test case. First, navigate to the URL. So here we will use site.visit cypress.env and then enter slash here for navigating to the URL. Now, after navigate to the URL, we need to enter the username and password. So here we will use site.get, enter ID here. Here we can locate element by ID and name. Both are available. ID is username. Enter ID here. Dot name, we need to enter some text inside this field. So here we will use dot type cypress dot env and then enter username get locate element, right click, inspect, and here ID is available, it is password. Enter ID password dot type cypress dot env, and then enter password. As you can view here, we define username, password. After enter the username, password, next thing we need to do here, we need to click on login button. Right click here, inspect, and here ID is submit. Hash submit dot click. Remove this line and format document. Right click, format document, save configuration As you can view, we define in cypress.config.js base URL here inside E2V. So we need to remove cypress.env, remove round bracket from here. Same as well, we need to remove round bracket from here and make sure Cypress first letter should be capital, otherwise you will get an error. Now save the file and we can run the test. Enter command npx cypress open for Cypress opening. Now Cypress is opening. As Cypress is open, we need to click on the configured. Maximize the window. Cypress is opening, and then click on configured. After click on configured, we need to click on the start E2 testing in Chrome. Maximize the window and then select the file login.site.js. Click on login.site.js. Now, in this scenario, first it will navigate to the URL and then enter the username, password, and then click on submit button. Navigate to the URL, enter username, password, and then click on submit button. Login successfully. Now, we will use fixture file in Cypress to keep our test data separate from the test logic, making our test clean, reusable, and scalable. Open VS Code and right click here, fixtures, new file, login data.json. Now, inside this file, you will enter the URL, username, and password. Now, we can remove from here. Sun as well, we can remove from here. Save the file, enter username, password inside this file. First, we need to enter URL. So there we will enter URL, and then enter URL care. Now, username, we will enter here username and then enter password. In this scenario, we enter the URL username in a separate file in login data.json file. First, we will enter the base URL. This is the base URL. Open VS Code and then enter the username. As you can view, username is student. Copy this complete username. Enter username here and then enter the password. Password is password123. enter passwords 43. Save the file, open login.site.js. Now declare a variable. First declare a variable to hold the test data from the fixture. Inside is described, we will declare a variable. Let login data before. Now this block will be executed before all the test cases. Now enter the callback function here. Inside this before, you will load the data from the Cypress fixtures into this login variable sci.fixture login data dot then data and then callback function. Now load the data. So here we will use login data is equal to data. Format the document, right click here, format document, remove spaces from here. Now make changes inside this test case. Here we will use sci.visit login data dot URL. Now, after navigating to the URL, we need to type username. So we will use here login data dot username. Here we define in login data.json username, password. Login data dot username, login data dot password. Right click, format document. Now we can run our test, save both files, login data.json as well. Save this file, login.site.js. Now this block will be executed before this test case. In this scenario, we have only one test case in which navigate to the URL, enter username, password, and then click on the submit button. Save the file, click on login.site.js. First navigate to the URL and then enter username, password, and then click on submit button. Test is running. User should be logged in with valid credentials. Navigate to the URL, enter username, password, and then click on submit button. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment below if you have any doubts.